How to micro flipping 101, how to close deals the same day you buy them. So we talked about micro flipping, we talked about previous classes, right? That should be clear, the stuff we've talked about. If it's not clear, you can go through the classes. We did a class on how to micro flip, the basics of micro flipping. This is on how to really get your deals closed the same day. You've got to get these things in place in order to do this. There's a couple items you need to be able to close deals within a few hours, within 1 hour, within the same hour of a showing. Study our MF in classes. Study our micro flipping classes, and you should know the 5 different categories of micro flipping. Hopefully that's clear. We don't need to go over that now, right? We focus on 3, 4, and 5. The 1 and 2 we don't focus on. But today we're talking about specifically within 4, the term sales, not the cash sales. Those are different. Those can be done this way too. It takes a little bit longer to close those deals though. But we can get those offers signed and both sides signed the same day. Basically the same process that we're going to do today. But this is about terms deals where you actually close the deal. So you are going to actually close the deal and have an actual closing the same day as a showing. There's 7 different kinds of zero down control. You should be clear on that. The assets and micro flipping. How do we get those assets down? We are in a controlled economy, as we've talked about before. That should be super clear to you. So now the focus is on how to close the same day. We need to build our VIP list of buyers. That's the first thing we develop. Then they can go pre-purchase or put their reserve funding down on the property. They can go put they go to the attorney, they go to the title company, they put this money down, and then you can easily close one at a time. And you can do them on the same day. So we focus on the first few deals, make sure those are done. And then once your team is well, you've got them, the process they've got established, you can go doing as many deals as you want. Also, a quick note here, Big Rio, we are the #1 channel on YouTube. We are the #1 channel on YouTube for Indiana real estate. We're also building the world's largest organization of special needs business owners and real estate investors. How cool is that? Our mission here is to make lifelong friends, helping folks around the world create generational wealth with real estate, business building, all kinds of really cool stuff. Go to bigrio.com, all kinds of brilliant stuff. So micro flipping is everywhere. You see a pattern here. So this, again, we talk about this all the time. We are in a controlled economy. This economy is unlike anything else here. Uber is the biggest taxi cab company in the world. They own 0 cabs. Airbnb is the largest hotel company in the world. They own 0 hotels or rooms, right? The largest apps and software vendors in the world don't create any apps, Google and Apple. One of the largest shipping companies in the world, Amazon, they own 0 trucks or planes. The largest media company owner in the world is Facebook. They create no content. Facebook creates 0 content, right? Amazon reviews, by the way, are some of the top search ranking results on things, and Amazon doesn't create that content. User-generated content. The largest telecom companies in the world, Skype and Zoom. They own 0 phone or internet lines, right? The largest movie house in the world, Netflix, owns 0 theaters. They own 0 screens. In fact, the quality of what you watch on Netflix depends on the screen that you bring to it's basically just a website, right? Apple is the largest cell phone company in the world. They have 0 broadband and cell bandwidth of their own. Google, Alphabet, sometimes the most valuable company in the world, like $1 trillion business, but they don't make anything. They don't sell anything because you are the product that's being sold. The point here is that we are in a control economy, right? And this is what micro flipping really is about, is understanding we're not going to do what Open Door is doing, where they're actually taking the 98.6% of the asking price, and they can do it because they know that a house, they might buy one house at one price, but the house next door they won't buy because it's facing the wrong way, or it's just a few fractions of a mile further away from the entrance of the neighborhood or something like that. They've got their tracking so close, so far down. That's how they do it. Make sense? Okay, how to close deals the same day you buy them. Number 1, the buyer quality is determined, remember, by 2 things, resources and expectations, right? I keep forgetting to look at this thing. So whenever we talk to a buyer, how we determine the quality of that buyer is what resources they have, money and credit, and what are their expectations. So if they want to pay $500 a month, but they want the underground Batman cave or something, it's not realistic. So resources and expectations is and we can always tell our buyers this, right? We could say when we categorize buyers, we do this based on 2 things, resources and expectations. And that's why I want to make sure we have the best of both worlds so that we can help you get into something immediately. Screen buyers into 2 main categories, cash or terms. Those are the 2 main buyers that we have. They have cash, or they're having a pre-approval, they're going to be a cash offer, or they're going to make a terms offer, right? Which one's going to, now if they have both, then usually it makes sense to go with the cash, like a loan. But it's going to be cash or terms. Are they pre-approved? They have good credit and money. They have enough to go get pre-approved, or they have cash, or is it a term sale? Now, cash, technically, that's three different categories. They can buy a house all cash. They can get pre-approved. They can be terms, but we use 2 main categories. The best terms buyers are the ones with money, the ones who are searching for their own house, and who go to the pre-deposit. This is like the highest quality among those people. So what happens, the buyer comes in. Remember we talked about our iterations we want to go through. We want to market for buyers, have them sent to your agent. Your agent doesn't have to be a realtor, but they have to have a real estate license because they're representing you and the buyer. And then the providers, your investors, your property managers, your landlords, all the people that you have in your 77s in your fan base. That's the most important asset to move these deals quickly. So a buyer comes in, you get, let's say 20 calls. X amount of those people have good credit. They go to a lender, they get pre-approved, or they already have a pre-approval. They go with your attorney, with your agent, or you just help them on their way in some way that you can. A certain group of those people don't have good credit. They don't have money, right? So what about the people that don't have money? What about the people that, the people that do have money? So the people that don't, we have money and credit are the two main issuers we use. But if somebody comes through, they have $10,000, $15,000, we could say, listen, you can go and help us. You can find your own house. We can start looking at houses you have, but also we can take this money, go to our title company, go to our attorney, and put this money down as kind of your pre-deposit, pre-purchase to help get the deal going a lot faster. They go down there. Now, your attorney might be a little weird. This is super important about screening your team because your attorney or your title company, this is a little bit bizarre, a little bit different for them maybe. So we want to explain to them what's happening. Listen, we're keeping that money basically as a holding account, and we're going to get them into a property in the next 7 to 10 days, next 30 days at most. So maybe you have them sign an agreement. Maybe you have them sign like a bank account. Basically, it's like a short-term checking account or short-term savings account. Basically, they can act like the bank. The reason we're getting this money put in up front is because it's helping you. It's several reasons, but one of the reasons is it's helping you pick out. If you have 30, 40 buyers, knowing that these buyers have $10,000, they put it with your attorney, they put it with your title company, it's being held in escrow, kind of escrow. Remember, escrow has to be released by two different parties. So if the buyer, when they put that money down, if they ever want that money back for any reason, we don't play any games. They get their money back that day, not a problem. But what will happen is that people have psychological momentum when they want to move into a house. And this helps them feel like they're doing something, and it helps you understand who the best people are. So if you have 30 buyers that call you, but 2 of them went and put $20,000 in with your attorney, and they're bringing you houses that they want, you know that these people are the most on fire. The resources are set. As long as their expectations are realistic, you'll be able to get them into something really quickly, and you'll be able to make money and help them at the same time. These are the most important things to do. So once we get that buyer that puts that $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in with our attorney, now we go find that property, we close. Maybe they sign half of the purchase agreement. Some attorneys like this, and then we sign the other half once we find the property. So there's 3 main ways you find the property. Number 1 is the buyer searching. They're going out and finding properties. This is why expectations are important. Number 2 is the agent and provider. Or the agent and or provider. So the agent, your agent, the realtor that you have, that your boots on the ground, is taking them out. They're finding properties that match the criteria off the MLS, on the MLS, wherever they're finding them. But the most important, the easiest one is your provider list. Your list of 77s, the people you like the most, that are going to make the most money with your realtors, lenders, agents, property managers. They should all get a text, an alert saying, I need a property like this. If anyone's got one, this is why, again, expectations are so important. As long as we calibrate the resources and expectations, you can do these deals really quick and you could close on the same deal. Because imagine a buyer comes through, they have $15,000 down, they have realistic expectations, they put that money down with your attorney, you've got 30 or 40 high quality providers that you could send a quick text out to, I need a 3-bedroom, 2-bath on the north side or whatever. How quickly are you going to find that? That day, right? Or it should be very quick. And then now they're ready to close. The buyer goes, looks at the property. The day they look at that property, because they already had the money down, they can go sign their half of that lease option, right? We're talking about a term sale, like a lease option, maybe a contract, but usually a lease option or some sort of term sale. Once they're ready to sign, they can go to what we call half closing. So they go and they look at the property, they love it. Why don't you go to the attorney and sign your half of the contract? And then we have the seller come in later that day. They can come in and sign, or they can meet. But this way we can move really quick, and we can tell that buyer, like the timeline of a buyer, especially if you have psychological momentum. You've told your friends and family you're going to move. You want to move into something immediately, right? You got to get into something. So we can help them do that. And by saying, listen, you might move tomorrow. You don't know, might move Thursday, might move Friday. You're not sure, because we're looking at properties regularly every day. And once we find one, all you got to go do is go sign the paperwork. And you can even sign it right there since you already have the money down. And this is how you can get keys the same day as a showing. So a buyer can see a property today and close on it that day, that night. Makes sense? This is how we want to microflip. Why do we do pre-deposits? It helps commit them and creates accountability. A lot of buyers, that money is just burning a hole in their pocket. And they'll say, man, I know I'm going to spend this on stupid shit if I don't get into a house, right? It makes a stronger offer for you. You could tell them, listen, if you really want us to make the strongest possible offer, if you really want to do it, if this helps you, which if it doesn't help them, don't do it. If they don't want to do it, obviously don't do it. But a lot of times they want to do it. It helps them get some momentum behind what they're doing. It makes a stronger offer, and their seriousness is confirmed. You prioritize them, right? So if you have 40 buyers that say we're all serious, but one of them went and put $20,000 with your attorney, that's the one that you want to focus on. It can help you. It can help them with their finances and getting on track. The first thing we want to do is look at all their finances, look at their credit, make sure that if they have bad credit, they have a plan to get their credit fixed. Their income situation, what are they doing? Are they going to school? What are they going to do to be able to afford this house? We take all these things into consideration. We have a list of things we give all our buyers. Here's quick things you can go do. You can go to school for 90 days or 2 years, depending on the area and the program, and you can make $60,000, $100,000, $150,000 when you're done doing things like being a radiation tech, getting into coding, for example. These are different kinds of different avenues that we have. So we want to help our buyers and their families go out. The best decision to make if you want to increase your income is to go get educated for most people. Business obviously, but very few people are going to do that. Iterations and repeat until closings are regular. You know the moving pieces here. We have our buyers, we have our providers, we have our agent, we're buyers, agent, providers, and we know that how we're getting. We have 50 buyers that come in. We want the highest quality buyers. Terms buyers are the ones that have money and went to your attorney and are finding new properties. They have realistic expectations. They're finding new properties. They're with the agent, and now we want to focus on getting better and better providers. Each iteration, you just get better providers, better buyers, better agent. You just keep going through that. We talked about this in the previous class. And then from now on, magic words, you should have a weekly, daily target of how many closings you're going to have. I have this many buyers. I have this many people that are going to be putting their money down. Is she here right now, Shelly right now? She could tell you, she had one or two lenders, two mortgage brokers. And she said, listen, when you have mortgage brokers when you're talking to clients who have bad credit and they can't afford a property, I can help them get into something. From that group of people, in one weekend, she had, from two mortgage brokers, she had $70,000 from the buyers they sent who did the pre-deposits, who went and did the pre-purchase that we call, right? They went and put that money down. Now, all that money hasn't come in. She hasn't made it yet, but a percentage of it she has. You get what I mean? So how cool is that to go out and make $70,000 in a weekend? You can do it with this process because your buyers are going, they're putting money with your attorney, and then you go out, your agents and your providers are going out and finding the properties for them. Does that make sense? And once they find that property, you're able to close on it that day immediately, right? You can get or you can do the quick kind of mini inspection they can do as well, but they're able to go through and get these properties done immediately. Does that make sense? So the better you categorize, the easier improvements are to make. Categorize your buyers. Notice that the VIP buyers, you're building your VIP list, but the best buyers are the ones who go with your attorney and put that money up. Once they've got that money, these are the best, highest quality buyers, and it's really easy to get these people into closing. Does that make sense? This whole process of micro flipping makes sense, right? We want to get these deals done as soon as possible. We want to, by having people with the best resources, the best expectations, those are the ones we focus on. You had a question? No? Okay. All right, does that all make sense? That's all clear? Micro flipping 101. How do we close those deals? This is, with terms sales, this is one of the best, fastest ways to make sure that we can close the very same day that we get those deals. Make sense?